Hey guys, welcome back to my garage. In this episode, first video about our Aprilia Tuono V4 1100RR. In this very episode, we're gonna do the things that most of us do to their bikes as soon as we get. So I'm gonna relocate a bunch of those stickers that all over the bike, and as always I'm gonna put it under the seat. All but one. I will leave this one over here because it's full of good information that I want to be able to access at a moment notice without having to take the seat off. But other than that, we're gonna remove a few other things that are just a sore eye on the bike, and we're gonna add a few key pieces that for me are cheap, easy, and make the bike look a million times better. So I'm gonna start with the spongy little cover for the brake reservoir. This is not just to make the bike look good. In case your brake fluid reservoir cap is leaking, this spongy thing is supposed to absorb the fluid before it gets on your paint and ruins the paint for good. So this is one. The second piece we're gonna add is this Aprilia tank guard. Now the tank guard is not absolutely necessary, but I don't want to think about that day where I forget my jacket zipped down because it's hot and the zipper actually is gonna scratch my tank. So this is a cheap fix, it's gonna look fairly good on it, so this is gonna go. Last thing we're gonna add to our bike is something that the European market gets from starting. In the American market we have the clear visor up here, while in the European market you have the smoke dark visor. So what I'm gonna do, I was able to get this visor, which is from a 2016 factory version. So what I did, I bought the visor, which has already the sticker for the factory on it, and I also bought the sticker, the black sticker that comes with the RR. So we're gonna install this, we're gonna put the sticker on and see how it goes. Maybe I'll put this on and I like the difference in color so much that I'm gonna leave it there, but getting the stickers off was quite a lengthy and tedious job, especially those up here on top of the gas tank. I actually had to employ the help of a blade to remove them cleanly. So, but they've been removed, they're now safely under the seat, out of the way, but still on the motorcycle to comply with all the safety regulation and the law. For you guys that want to do it, remember those stickers up here are incredibly tedious and hard to get off. The one under the tail over here, same thing, super tedious, you need to be super careful. But when it comes to the sticker that used to be over here and the sticker that used to be down there on the panel for the fairing, those came out with no problem. They were soft and they came right out. I spared you guys that hour I spent scraping those stickers around, and we can move on to the next. So remember, this thing is not just to make the bike look good, and indeed it makes the bike look a little better. You have the OEM brake reservoir, which is just plastic. It's not that you're covering up an aluminum one or anything. So this is an easy and cheap fix to make the reservoir look slightly better. Done! So first thing to do is to give a good clean to the area where we want to apply the protector. The bike is new, so there is not much grease or dirt on it, so that's an easy job. Second part, it's a little bit more tedious, especially if you are like me and you want it to be perfectly centered. So after you clean it, take a piece of masking tape and put it down here. Find the center of the tank and use that as a reference. I applied many of those throughout my life, and independently on how accurate I try to be, how many measurements I take, I always end up putting a few millimeters off, which is very annoying, but that's a fact of life. So instead of using tape to tape it on and then remove it one by one, I'm gonna eyeball it because the result is not gonna be much better. Once you apply it, put some pressure on it and make sure every corner sticks. At this point we can remove the top film up here. And I believe it looks pretty good. Another one done, let's move on. Now the front of the bike is slick, so there are no screws like most of the other bikes where you have the screws up front. On the Tuono you don't, so you actually need to remove the top fairing up here. We're gonna start with the most noticeable screws and make our way in there and see how it goes. Now, having never done this before, I have a general idea of what to do, but nothing precise. So I'm gonna move cautiously and take them off one by one and see what's what. So this one goes. And this one goes. Side plastic comes off. You free up this other piece of plastic, which at this point you can remove. After that you uncover another screw down in there. Now the windshield is semi-free, so we gotta move under the bike and undo some more stuff. So at this point I'm gonna remove those down here. Remove the headlight screws over here on both sides. At this point you should have enough play to be able to do this. By lifting a bit you have access to those two screws that are the one that hold the windshield in place. One off. And I'm gonna do the other one on the other side. Once you have both screws removed, it's as easy as pulling it up. Here it is. And replacing them with the other one. So the tinted windshield is gonna go in. Making sure that all the tabs go where they're supposed to. But that, you can't get it wrong, it's just the way the other one was. Once it's in, what we need to do is put those two screws back in there. I'm gonna put them on like that and put it in. Okay, once that's in, you can just push the whole thing back where it's supposed to be. After you push the 5-pin up on the underneath the nose of the bike, it's time to put the screws where they were before. So there is the only screw that is not black that goes right there. Then we're gonna grab this piece of plastic and we're gonna put it back where it belongs. Once it's in position, you can push it together and you hear a click like that. Here we go. At this point we can put the side back on it, which is held in place by two screws that go 1 and 1. Here we go. And at this point we gotta put on the last two screws that go one over here and one up here. And that's it. Last but not least, I want to take care of those. I want to remove them. Amazingly enough, unlike most bikes, those are actually bolted to the fender. That means once I remove it, there's gonna be two holes right there. So it's a 7mm, and we gotta go from the inside and remove it that way. This is what it looks like without this on it, and those are the two holes I'm talking about. Right now I'd rather have the holes than this orange thing. So this is done. We're pretty much done. We're done with the first episode for the Aprilia Tuono, but let's see what we've done to the bike so far. All the ugly stickers that were around the bike have been removed one by one, tedious long, but in the end was worth it. The bike looks a million times better. Second of all, we added that protection for the reservoir up here, which looks incredible. Can't believe it. It was a $7 expense or something like that. Then we added the protection for the fuel tank. We removed those ugly orange reflector from the fender. We had two little pinholes down there, but I can definitely live with the pinholes, which from a little distance away you can't even see them compared to those bright orange reflective things. And last but not least was the windshield on the bike, the European smoked windshield. I did buy the RR sticker to replace the white one that comes with the screen, but I actually kind of like the look of this one, so I'm gonna keep it for a while. I'm gonna see how over time I'm gonna like it, and if I don't, I'll just replace it. This is the first step of our Aprilia Tuono 1100 RR, and many more to come, so stay tuned. As always, you can check the description down below for links of the things I install on the bike. If you like the video, like. If you love the video, subscribe. Till then, ride on, and I'll see you next time.